And we're recording. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Robert Cheeke Show. I am your host, Robert Cheeke, where we take what the world throws at us and we turn the other cheek. And I'm here at the Let Live Conference, Portland, Oregon, 2009. It's been a great animal rights conference. And I'm here with Gene Baur, the co-founder of Farm Sanctuary, president of Farm Sanctuary, author of a new book. I want to talk about that. And basically, I want to know what you're doing here, why you decided to come here today, and a little bit about yourself and your organization. And we've got about the next 8 minutes to talk about that. So go ahead and take it from here, Gene, and thanks again for your time today.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm here at the Let Live conference to talk to people about animal rights and farm animals, particularly the fact that these are each living, feeling individuals, and in our country here in the United States, 10 billion of these animals are being horribly treated and then slaughtered. It's all unnecessary, it's cruel, it's bad for the animals, it's bad for us, it's bad for our health, bad for the environment. So I'm here to mainly talk about that, and many people here at the Let Live conference are vegans and are already very much aware of these issues, but some aren't. And some of those who are vegan, it's helpful to kind of reignite the fire and rethink about these issues and just get more charged up. So I'm here for a few days and I go back to Farm Sanctuary. In fact, tonight I'm on the red eye. And Farm Sanctuary is a sanctuary for animals. We take care of cows, pigs, chickens, turkeys, and other animals who were being raised and exploited for food. And once they come to Farm Sanctuary, they're allowed to live out their lives. At Farm Sanctuary, the animals are our friends, not our food. It's a place where vegan is normal. And we encourage people to come visit and get to know these individuals. We have overnight cabins at our farms in Watkins Glen, New York, and in Orland, California. And then in addition to rescuing animals and encouraging people to visit and get to know the animals, we do advocacy work. We go to court to try to fight factory farming abuses. We try to get legislation through the legislative process in various states and in Washington, D.C. We also work on initiatives where citizens take an issue to the ballot and then vote on it. And recently we were involved in Proposition 2 in California, where citizens voted to ban some of the cruelest confinement systems that are currently in place. So we do rescue, we do education, we do advocacy, and we encourage people to live in a way that is humane and consistent with their own values. Most people today are eating meat, milk, and eggs that are produced on these factory farms where the animals are treated horribly. And if people saw what was happening to these animals, they would be appalled. So oftentimes people live in a sort of state of denial. And so we encourage people to think more about what they're doing and to make choices that are consistent with their own values. And I think for many people that would mean not only giving up factory farm products, but going vegan, and eating plants instead of animals. We also want people to eat in a way that's consistent with their own interests. And eating the way we are in this country today, we're literally killing ourselves. People are dying of heart disease, cancer. We're also destroying the planet. The livestock industry is a greater contributor to global warming than the entire transportation industry. So, we don't need to be supporting this system, and doing so is actually outside of our own interests. And so if people eat in a way consistent with their own interests, we would see a major shift in the whole agricultural system. So that's what we're advocating. We're advocating a plant-based agriculture system, and we're advocating a different kind of relationship with farm animals, one that exists at Farm Sanctuary. And we encourage people to come visit us in Watkins Glen, New York, or in Orland, California.
And how would people go about doing that? You have cabins, you said. How do we, what's the website? What's information? A lot of people watching this, maybe including myself, would like to do that sometime.
Yeah.
I've talked about it for years or thought about it for years. How do I go ahead and make that step?
Yeah, to come to Farm Sanctuary, you can just check out our website, which is www.farmsanctuary.org. Again, www.farmsanctuary.org, and you can reserve a cabin, by going online. Now, our cabins book up through most of the summer, so it may be that it will not be that easy to get one now, but if you go online, you can check it out. You can at least put in your reservation. We also have events at the farms, that oftentimes sell out as well. So just go to the Farm Sanctuary website, check out our calendar of events, check out our visit section where you can find out about the overnight cabins both in Watkins Glen, New York, and Orland, California. And reserve a space either for an event or for a cabin. And it's wonderful to wake up and to look out and see the pigs rooting, or to see, listen to the roosters in the morning crowing, and see the cows grazing. It's a very peaceful place. And for animal rights people who live in a world that is so uncaring and so belligerent even to our concerns, being at Farm Sanctuary can really be a shot in the arm, and it can be really a validating, inspiring, encouraging experience. And for people who are not vegetarian or vegan, coming to Farm Sanctuary is often transformational. When you get to meet a pig and look in their eyes and see that they're not that different than us, or they're not that different than the cats and dogs you know. Recognizing that these are individuals, each has their own personality, just like cats or dogs or other animals. And that's what Farm Sanctuary is about. It's connecting to these other animals and recognizing that they're not that different than us and that we should be treating them with respect and compassion.
Great. We've just got a few minutes left. We keep going to a lot of the same events. Somehow we keep missing each other. We're speaking at the same festival, but I think that's almost a good thing. Some of these festivals are so big. 10,000 people are there, whether it's a World Fest event we're speaking at or out in Florida where we're speaking, we're doing our things. What takes you out on tour? You've got a book.
Yes.
Tell us about that. We have about 3 minutes left on the show, but tell us about the book and how can we find you when you're on book tour?
Yeah, the book is called Farm Sanctuary: Changing Hearts and Minds About Animals and Food, and it's been out for about a year now, and it's, I've been to Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, every major city in the U.S. talking about the book, and people can find out where I am by looking at the Farm Sanctuary website. Again, it's www.farmsanctuary.org, or you can email me too. My email is pretty easy. It's Gene, G-E-N-E, @farmsanctuary.org. And if I'm able to get back to you, I will. If not, I'll forward it to somebody else within the organization, and we'll be in touch. In addition to educating people, we encourage people to get active. We have an activist network. And it's important for us to all step up and speak out and be engaged and work to make a difference. Most of the time, unfortunately, we're encouraged to be sort of apathetic. And that's why so many of the problems we see in front of us exist. But if people get engaged and make conscious choices about their own food habits, but also get involved in the political process, get involved in community activities, talking to restaurants and encouraging them to help have vegan food, for example, and encouraging restaurants not to serve factory farmed products such as veal or foie gras. Those are very basic things people can do, or even taking literature, handing it out. So if you contact Farm Sanctuary, we'd be happy to give you literature and help you spread the word. And again, the website is www.farmsanctuary.org.
Well, Gene, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and you've been at this a long time. I mean, you've been doing such great work for so long, and I just want to say thank you, a personal thank you. And it was an email that you responded to that I sent that helped me do a lot of things that I'm doing now and take my activism and outreach to a whole nother level. And by putting me in touch with people to just take my message further. Right. And so I appreciate that. Absolutely. And any final things to say? Any last in the last 30 seconds here, words of encouragement for people to do?
Well, thank you, Robert, and thank you. Anybody who's interested in these things, just make conscientious choices, and all of us can do something. None of us can do everything, but all of us can do something, and each of us can do a lot about what we decide to eat. And by eating plants instead of animals, we can make a world of difference.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Gene. That was Gene Baur from Farm Sanctuary. Thank you so much for your time. This has been the Robert Cheeke Show. Another episode coming at you tomorrow. And thanks for supporting Farm Sanctuary. Thanks for supporting veganism and activism and outreach all over the world. It's because of you that we can make a difference and save the lives of those who never get the chance to thank us, but it's worthwhile every step of the way. Thank you very much.